Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we're talking about some big news coming out of the LCS world. Obviously, a couple weeks ago, it was announced that Papasmithy was going to be leaving 100 Thieves. His contract was up, and it seems like they had mostly decided that they weren't going to be renewing and that they weren't interested in carrying on the relationship between the two parties. Obviously, Papasmithy had kind of come out and said, hey, our visions about the future were just very, very different. We no longer agreed on how to do things. So it was time to go their separate paths, and everyone was wondering what was going to be next for Papasmithy. He had said, he was kind of considering all his options, but he was at a point in his career where he's already done so much, and he's so accomplished that, he wanted whatever he was doing next to be big. If he was going to go to a broadcast or whatever, he wanted to have kind of creative freedom and the power and authority to do things. He wants to go make a name for himself. He wants to go take on challenges. He wants to do big things. And we got this tweet from Wooloo where he said, sources, Papasmithy will join FlyQuest as the president and chief gaming officer. Now, I don't know what the heck a chief gaming officer means, but I get what president means. And then eventually we got this tweet from FlyQuest themselves. This is confirmed news now that Chris Papasmithy Smith is going to be their new president and chief gaming officer, a legendary figure in the scene. We are excited to bring him on board to help build the future of FlyQuest. Hashtag showcase greatness. And I do believe that Papasmithy had some tweets about this as well. Where he talks about here, so excited to take on my new role of president and CGO. At this point in my career, the opportunity to use my 10 years of experience in esports to set org direction and competitive content and marketing is exactly what I am looking for. 2023 is going to be a great year. Now, from my perspective, huge pickup for FlyQuest, obviously. This is especially at a time where they just lost Trisha over to Cloud9 and have somebody new coming in with a ton of experience, a ton of power, authority, respect, whatever in the scene to do a lot of the things that she was seemingly previously doing. But again, this is going to be Papasmithy with his hand in the competitive side, the content side, and the marketing side, kind of doing a little bit of everything, which is very, very ambitious. But Papasmithy seems like a guy who might be able to pull it off. Now, I do respect and appreciate Papasmithy a ton for what he has been able to do. I also love how active he is in the community, and I think that's going to be a great thing for FlyQuest, especially in terms of the stuff like content and marketing that he is talking about. I think being engaged with your fan base was something he did really, really well at 100 Thieves. It's something the fans really appreciated and liked. It's often a fine line that you have to walk between, sharing too much or interacting too much or not enough or whatever, but I think he does it well. I have definitely been critical of Papasmithy in the past. I'm definitely not like the biggest Papasmithy fanboy in the world. I didn't love that they ran back the 100 Thieves roster this year with no changes. I didn't love how they handled the Tenacity situation this past offseason of letting him play in one single game. They have a 6-man roster, and Tenacity gets to play in one game in the spring split that is ultimately meaningless for 100 Thieves, to not learn what they had in Tenacity this year and to not win any titles and not do anything at Worlds. That was a huge, huge, huge blunder, and those two things, ultimately were under the Papasmithy regime, and I think were overall pretty poorly handled by 100 Thieves, but obviously he did a lot of great things as well. 100 Thieves has been in, I believe, 3 straight LCS finals. And if you're a FlyQuest fan, this has to be very, very exciting. This is kind of a signal that they are going to be aggressive and be a team looking to make moves, I think, in this offseason and going forward. Because I don't think Papasmithy would be going to a team that's going to be, cutting their budgets to a disgusting level and not aggressive and not looking to make moves and not doing things, because he has options and he's not just coming there to, show his face and have his face be attached to a team that underperforms or loses or whatever. He wants to be competitive. He wants to be good. That, to me, he seems like that type of person. So I think this is a very, very good sign. And we have heard things like this, that FlyQuest is going to be aggressive in this offseason. Now, we did kind of get this interesting story from Alejandro Gomez saying that Tukoi has reached a verbal agreement with Team GO. This is an LFL team. So Tukoi will be leaving FlyQuest, will be leaving the LCS, headed back to the LFL. Some people have said that maybe this has to do with, health issues and needing to be closer to his family or friends or medical care back home or whatever. And if that's the situation, totally understand. But Tukoi was kind of the heart and soul of FlyQuest in a lot of ways in 2022, and when they were good, it was because he was very, very consistent and very, very good, and he's definitely going to be a hard person to replace. Mid lane is always a very, very big challenge in the LCS, so I do wonder what Papasmithy has in mind for this FlyQuest team for 2023. We've already heard that Jose Diodo is going to be exploring his options as well, so times they are changing for FlyQuest. Don't know exactly what the team's going to look like, but again, if I had to bet, I'm going to say that they will have a very, very, very competitive team in 2023, and they will for sure be a contender for like a world spot or something like that at the very least. Papasmithy to FlyQuest is a done deal. And the offseason is still heating up. I know we haven't gotten a ton of LCS news just yet, but I think it's going to be coming very, very soon. Pretty much every video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Peace.